It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
So I haven't shared the story with y'all, or I guess it's a really good, for comments or whatever, see what people think about this. But anyway, so y'all know I'm about to get a divorce, right? But prior to my divorce, I was going on a couples group trip, right? So there was technically like 10 of us in the group chat. Of course, there's hostile drama as soon as I filed for divorce and other people started to find out about it. And my husband started sending like group messages, and I honestly wasn't gonna say anything to anybody to begin with, but I mean, he let everybody know immediately. So because we're not working out and I filed for divorce, everybody dipped out on me for the couples trip. Yeah. Now, it would be good for me to be transparent in the fact that most of the people that are going on the group chat are either family or friends, or I just still consider them family because I've known them for as long as I've been with my husband, right? 10 plus years. Now, there are a couple people that I don't know that long, but however, one of them is my son's godfather, and he picked my husband's sides real quick. So he basically sent me a message and was like, oh, because this, that, and the third or whatever, I don't think it's a good idea. It's more because of the drama between me and my husband that me and my girlfriend don't go on the group trip. So I was like, okay, no worries. And then one of my other friends, her and her husband were like, I guess they decided that it's probably not a good idea. So she sent a message that they weren't going, and also something about it was too close to some other travel or something to do with their kids. I forgot exactly off the top of my head. Then it was another couple who she called me and told me her husband literally said, oh, that's my bro. If he ain't going, I ain't going. Okay, then don't go. But guess who's still going on the trip? Me. Yes, I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna go and have a good time. So, hotel, still have it. My flight is still booked. And my husband tried to be petty and cancel my flight, but I quickly rebooked that. And then I have like a section at the pool for this pool party. And icing on the cake is that everybody in the group chat agreed to spending a certain kind of money to have a party by this pool, and also us renting a 44-foot like a Camus big boat for us to go on, a private boat. And now they all dipped out on me. So who will be like Martha Stewart on the boat? Is me. I don't care if it's just me on the boat eating that fruit plate, the ceviche, and some champagne by myself. Is me.
Ceviche? I mean,
what do you think about that? Now, the common question I'm getting right now, well, it's a two-part question, is where were we supposed to go and when were we supposed to go? Clearly, I'm still going, so it's a future plan that's still happening. But however, if you want to know where we were going and when we were supposed to going, drop a comment below and I'll let you know where we were going. So, yes, my husband technically booked the flights on our American Express card with a bunch of points that we have. I didn't even go and check like my airline ticket or anything. I'm like, no big deal. We're not going together, but I'm still going. So somebody just told me when I was looking up some stuff to do in the area to look at my flight, right? So I go and look at my flight, and I actually had like a weird little confirmation thing on my app. So when I go inside American Airlines confirmation, I see that my shit is canceled. Immediately, of course, I'm upset, and I'm like, let me just calm down. So I go ask him, I'm like, did you cancel my flight? And he literally was like, yeah, I canceled the reservation. I'm like, why didn't you just cancel your ticket instead of cancel my ticket? So I got my trip credit back, and I had to rebook my own flight there, but that's okay. It worked out. So I get from my lawyer, my soon-to-be ex-husband's answer to my petition for divorce. Now, I've had it for a few days, and some of it I've read and some of it I have not read because I'm just like, this is crazy. However, I'm like, let me make the time to make sure I read it through and I'm not in my feelings or angry when I read it, right? Y'all will not believe that this man added the couples trip into his answer for divorce. So my husband has his lawyer basically state in his answer about things that I'm doing since I filed for divorce, right? And of course, one of the things he talks about is since I filed for a divorce, that I'm like living lavishly and I paid for a trip to go out of the country. You know, this is what people go wrong when they're mad. They do crazy shit, okay? Because we, meaning me and him, booked a couple's trip several months ago in advance and paid for it way in advance prior to me filing for divorce. But now he's adding the couple's trip into his answer for my petition of divorce. How about that? So now basically I'll have my lawyer respond with receipts, because clearly bank statements, when I booked the trip, how I booked the trip,
Man,
the who, what, when, where, why, to make you look stupid or make you look like a liar, or that you're just really in your feelings instead of focusing on getting a divorce and moving forward. You're busy trying to still bash things, and you're gonna use the couple's trip. Crazy. Okay, so the couple's trip, ultimate failure, part 5. Y'all will not believe that people are upset that I posted the story online. Now, let me just say this. It's my social media and it's my right. I will post whatever I feel like posting. But I did not specifically give anyone's like government name. But people that do know me personally would know my husband. But a lot of people didn't even know about the group trip, or would you have known exactly who was invited to the group trip unless you were on the group trip? Do you know that basically a guy called me and said, why am I talking about him on social media? Again, I'm going to post whatever I want to post on social media, but I didn't put anyone's names out there. But I still try to have a conversation with him to help him understand that I don't agree with all of our friends not going on to the trip. But then again, he felt off. Now, I do understand at this point, after I've thought about a lot of things, why people would feel awkward, but more to the story has come out. So, of course, my husband has called people, guilt tripping them, or making it awkward, because at the end of the day, these people were friends of mine, like, not even just because I met them through my husband, but we share our own relationships at the end of the day. So like I said, I still firmly stand on the fact that I feel like they could have still came to the trip and we could all went as friends. It didn't necessarily need to be a couple's trip. So because he felt awkward, and he did admit to me that there were multiple text messages that were going around within like the group and things that my husband were saying, like, y'all allowed him to guilt trip you into not going to the group. Like, I don't know what else to say, but at this point, but I still feel like everybody could still go and have a good time. I'm just that kind of person. I don't know about other people, but nobody dictates my life. Now, here we are today, and it is a girls' trip, and I'm still going to have a good time. And I'm sorry that they felt like they didn't want to go. But me, like I said, I'm still going. So that's just a little bit update right now of what's going on with the couple's trip. It is no longer, yes, a couple's trip. However, it is a girls' trip, and that's where we're at. Ooh. Update on the couple's trip. Okay, so why I'm going to add into the fact of, yes, the whole divorce and what I'm doing right now, because this is actually happening. I'm in this U-Haul truck, right? So I scheduled a time for me to go to my house and collect a few things, you know, personal stuff, just some clothes, some shoes, and some other necessities for my son. Now, I really did want my sonogram pictures, and I will say that because my son is a miracle baby. I am a woman who has suffered from multiple miscarriages, and I never thought I would be able to have a kid, and my sonogram pictures are valuable to me, so I wanted to make sure I got some of those too. Anyway, your girl is here in the U-Haul truck, just trying to get my things, mind my business, and go on my way. Do you know my husband called the police on me? Call the police on me because I'm getting things like women's clothes, my personal stuff, my son's things. So embarrassing. because I hired a guy to come and help me for like 2 hours to help me like take things up and down the stairs. Now, mind you, I'm not taking no furniture or nothing with me. I'm just taking like things that I can like lift or it's not too much. I don't care about the fucking furniture because I can get me new furniture. Do you know that this man proceeded to grab my shoe boxes? I bought this. I bought these my fucking shoes. I'm looking at him like, these are women's shoes. I wish I recorded. The police officer lady was like, he wants the shoes. I can only laugh at this point. Like, after 12 years being with somebody, for them to act like that, sir, your ass hurt mad. Like, you're in there throwing shoe boxes. He kicked the mover guy. Get the fuck out. Current update of what's going on and why I'm adding this in as a part, because he also started to scream and yell and say, and you posting all these fucking TikToks. I should not be laughing at this, but I can't help myself. Okay, this is a small divorce update. So even during all this craziness today, this man proceeds to call the police on me and tried to have me arrested and kicked out of my own property that I own, and my personal belongings and all my stuff is there because I technically still have residence there. But anyway, my husband carries his backpack around pretty often, and I did notice before he was being kind of like sneaky about it, but whatever. So I'm like, when I walked in the house, I saw the book bag on the table. So I opened the front pocket, and in the front pocket are the credit cards that he canceled that he doesn't want me to use, right? That's fine. So why do I find something else in there? It ain't condoms, it ain't another girl's phone number, none of that. I find in his book bag some papers for a home DNA test. Now, the home DNA test, it can't be for my son because I haven't been at home with him in 3 weeks with our son. I've been with my family just to keep things calm right now. So my husband has a baby out there, possibly with someone else. Yeah, this comment right here. The DNA paternity test is for your son. He's waiting for the chance to test him. He's looking to play dirty and be pet. Well, at first I was like, well, my son hasn't even been around you in a few weeks, so when we were able to do, the test. But he did indeed do a test on our son, which is so crazy. We have technically been together for like 12 years. Even when we had our son, we didn't have no problems like that, number one. Number two, there was never even a thought, a discussion, an argument, or anything that ever led up to him thinking that his son is not his. So that's just so sad on his part to do that to our son, like just to make sure this, that, and the third. But I took a screenshot of the part of the email he sent me. And the reason you're only going to see is like the part of the email, because other stuff is for privacy reasons, like addresses and things like that. But here is basically what his part, or why he feels he needed to take a DNA test on our son.
Test was done, sent off October 5th when you dumped K-Roll off on me so you could attend the strip club Mimosa Fest in State Embassy Suites, Tampa. Attached is the email confirmation with the payment. FYI, I did indeed test your son. Well, he said your son with quotation marks. Update that to your social media. You better be glad the results are the results. I was ready to be rid of your psychotic ass once for all. Kiss my son for me since you purposely not answering your FaceTime so I can see him during the scheduled times you dictated me to. Yeah, come on, guy. This guy's after hearing about the shoes, come on, man. Let her have them shits and move on.
Okay, so there it is. He feels like he needed to get a DNA test because I dumped our son off to him. It was his weekend to have him. He'll see me leave from the house. We were still technically under one roof. And it was his Saturday and Sunday with him. So I planned to go and do something with my friends. regardless of what I'm doing, that's even none of his business, but that's how much he's in his feelings, that things that he's doing is affecting our son. Because in the 12 years of us being together, or when we were finally blessed to have a child, there is no way that our son would be somebody else's. But that's how low some of you men go when you're in your feelings. You do things to be intentionally harmful, but who you're harming at the end of the day is your own flesh and blood. So yeah, that's why he did it. Now, a lot of you had made the comment to me or giving me your feedback, whether I liked it or not. I will say that. But something I was struggling with was, these was never your friends. They were never your friends. And while at first I was like, like, I believe in you can have your own friendships with people even though you meet them through your spouse. Oh, was I wrong? Now, this one cuts a little bit deep. And when I say this is probably going to be more for my religious people or people who have godparents to their children, because this now affects the relationship between my son's godfather and my son. So my son's godfather has been a mutual party since the beginning. I will say that. Backstory, my husband has known him double-digit years. I met him through my husband. And even more recently, when he was seriously struggling with his relationship with his girlfriend, I was still a mutual party. I did not pick any sides. And I'm going to say I am that friend that if you're wrong, you're wrong. And we can keep it moving, and I still love you and I still care about you to tell you that when you're wrong. Now, they're both in a better place. We still did things together. I never treated the girl any type of way. I even hung out with her while they were going through whatever they were going through. So I was on the phone with him the other day, and I'm just talking to him about a couple things that's going on. And he has voiced to me, let me know if you need anything. Let me know if Cairo needs anything. And because he said that to me a few times, I literally was like, okay, I trust him, that he genuinely cares about the right thing and looking out for the best interest of my son. So while we're on the phone with him, he's still going back into about the couple's trip as well, trying to tell me basically where I went wrong about posting any of this on social media or posting any of my personal business online. However, I had to explain to him that this is my social media, this is my life, and I will do what I want with my life at the end of the day, whether my husband agrees with it, you agree with it or not. So we're just talking about how basically my husband refuses to meet me or refuse to come any agreements to see his son, and he has not seen his son in almost a month now. But again, that's his choice because he chooses not to make any arrangements with me. So fast forward through the conversation, I'm talking to him about how this man will not come to any agreements with me. Okay, so imagine I'm on the phone with him and I'm just talking to him about, why I feel like he doesn't want to see his son. And all of a sudden I hear, she's a fucking liar, you liar. I hang up the phone. My son's godfather proceeded to set me up on a phone call so this man can hear what I'm saying when my husband refuses to even have a conversation with me right now because he's so angry as well. But you have time to do that. When I tell you that is so malicious, and anybody who has malicious intent towards me, you can't be my son's godfather. So I immediately had to cancel him out of my life. So now with everything that has happened, my son no longer has a godfather. The way you say my husband sounds like you still love him, and y'all should try to work it out. If you have any type of second thoughts, push for ways to work it out. Of course I'm getting sad because of course I love my husband. Of course I care about my husband. I spent 12 years with him, but we're not healthy for each other anymore, and the environment is so toxic, and I don't want my son living in a toxic environment. And unfortunately, somebody has to be the bad guy in the moment, and she is me, because I have to think about what's best for my son, because he's the priority. So I can't work it out and I can't work through it, because working through it means my son has to live in a toxic environment, and I just choose to do what's more healthier for my baby at the end of the day. Okay, so a common question or thing I've seen on here is about my husband having a violent outburst in our house. Yes, I will admit that is not the first time I've seen him like throw something, be aggressive, have a violent outburst, break something, act up. Hell, I've acted up. We've been together for 12 years and we have gone through things. Even though we've gone through things, we've worked through them, things now are different because we have a small child. I cannot keep voicing that enough. Something I had voiced to him, and I don't think he's getting it, is because I was so willing to work through whatever before. But once I became a mother, everything changed for me. Like, it just was just a click in my brain. I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm not fighting with nobody. I'm not going back and forth with anybody. My son's safety comes first. My son's needs are first. They're a priority. I don't know what else to tell some of you. Then I'm not excusing his behavior. I'm just not. Now, I get some people are like, oh, you know, people have had these issues and figured it out. Well, I'm not willing to figure that out, because my boundaries are super tight when it comes to my son. My son is only 15 months old, and I will not live in a household where there's violence. I will not live in a household where there's hostility. Anything that can possibly potentially hurt my son or something that's detrimental to his life, I gotta go. I'm exiting. That's it. So this is a little bit of a divorce update, but it is an important topic to talk about, and I can't say this enough. If you're getting a divorce or you're at odds with your kid's father or kid's mother, please do not sit up here and try to use the court system because you're angry at the other parent. It never works out for you. And it's crazy that now I'm experiencing this, because I sat there and watched my husband go through almost 10 years of battling through family law with his two previous baby mamas before me, and watch the games that they played and how much, you know, they would keep the kids from him, as well as he didn't even want to be a parent to one of them, and the back and forth, and then the this and then the that. I don't want to go through that. I'm not doing that, because that's not what's best for my son. Hence, update. I have been trying for weeks now, asking my husband, would you like him for this week? Would you like him from that week? This is what we need to do. We cannot be under the same roof because we don't get along. And ever since he threw things at me in the house and smashed things in the house, I'm not interested in being anywhere near anyone like that, or that treats my son like that, or could potentially treat my son like that. My job as a mom is my son's safety and priority come first. So because I will not agree to be around him, so he wants our son for only 4 hours a day, I'm like, no, you can keep him for a week at a time. You can keep him for 2 weeks at a time. You need to be a parent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're going to share 50-50 custody. I can't be your stay-at-home wife still, or your part-time nanny, just because you want to keep him for 4 hours a day. No, you need to be a full-time father right now. This is a part of the process. And because he will absolutely not agree to anything that I'm proposing, and I won't agree to what he's saying, this man has literally went to court and filed an emergency hearing to try to take my son away from me. My son is not in immediate urgent situation. He's not in danger. He's with me and my family. He's in a safe place. He's in a literally a quieter environment. There's no arguing. There's no screaming. Nobody's throwing any things at him. Nobody's making him cry, anything like that. So why are you're going to sit up here and go to the court system and try to get your way because you're angry. One, y'all have to stop doing that. That is such a waste of the court's time. You're only putting money in your lawyer's pocket by doing that. And two, that's just not in the best interest of your child. The best interest of your child would be, okay, let me make arrangements so I can keep him for a week. Let me figure out for 2 weeks. I'll let you know when I can figure out my work schedule. Okay, let's agree. It's about compromise, sacrificing, and making agreements with the other person. That's what co-parenting is all about. Not running back to the court trying to make it seem like your child is in danger or what kind of person that the mom is in order to have your way. Like, I literally the other day was mortified, but I should have known better, because this is the behavior of, you know, somebody who's a narcissist, somebody who is unhinged, somebody who has anger issues. Like, he is literally going to go to the lowest of the low in order to try to hurt me, to take my son away from me. I have been with my son almost every day. I barely even let anybody pick my son up until he was like 6-7 months old. Even my own mother, because I had postpartum anxiety, I would not even let anybody touch my baby unless you washed your hands. I was that mom. There was no daycare. You couldn't, my son wasn't staying the night, anything. Literally, when me and my husband went out of town, just one time, I flew my mom to our house to stay in my house, where I had 3 baby cameras, and I was still watching my son on the nanny cam because I was worried about what was going on. For you to sit here and say anything to this court to try to convince them to take my son away from me, and it literally says emergency hearing with 100% time sharing restraining order. Like, I literally begged my husband at this point to get the help that he needs so he can be a good father to our son, because I know he can still be a good father to our son, that he's just angry that I'm divorcing him. But I will not allow him to drag me through the mud with my son and using my son as a weapon. And if anybody else is out there doing that, please stop doing that. Like, our kids deserve better. The world deserves better. Like, this is the new generation of children now. Like, I don't agree. None of my friends could even come to me and say, oh, this is what I got going on with my I literally have had conversation with friends, and I'm giving them advice about certain things, like, do not do. It's not fair to the other parent, and it's not right to your child. But that's just an update right now.
What to do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. We back in the confessional, and yes, we staying lit, big dog. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my homeboy Lucky Wheels and Deals. He keeps it lit. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. Hit the link below. We got the HiveMindLabs.com. Okay, link, get the super fat burners. You can get the protein shake, or you can, you know, buy some merchandise. We got the Hive Mind shirts, hats, phone cases, duffel bags for when you take your big back ass to the gym. Let's get into it, big dog. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. Now, okay. I don't think she works, but maybe she did say she had a job somewhere. But she was a stay-at-home wife. She said she was a stay-at-home wife, but she said she will no longer be his stay-at-home wife and watch the kids. He needs to step up and be a father. Well, he was doing his part. Now, once y'all divorced, because you did not force him to spend time with his kids while y'all were together, he doesn't feel it's necessary. And now, instead of living with him, you living with his mom, your mom. So now he's like, okay, now you over there mooching off of them. Now, I don't want to say that this woman is a narcissist, because she called her husband a narcissist, but she's this close. What he's done, well, she didn't give us the backstory. Like, what was going on in the relationship, what caused the divorce. So I might have to go back and watch some other stuff and get the prequel to what led us up to this divorce, because the story about the couple's trip was just lame. Okay, them wasn't your friends, woman. Yeah, you were married to him for 12 years, but them wasn't your friends. Those were his friends. You was invited into the friend group, so why are you surprised that they kept their friendship going and left yours? That's narcissism. How dare you sit here and think that somebody else is supposed to break up their friendship with their longtime friend over you, the wife? I don't get it. Some of this stuff is just, some of the things that she said, it just don't align up and add up with what's really going on. She's leaving out parts for a reason. And I hate to be like blame her for anything that's actually going on, because I don't know what's going on. But I'm 100% sure that she has a lot to do with it. The fact that she even brought up that she sat and watched his other baby mamas keep the kids away from him. What does she do? Take her and her son and move into a mom's house. Which is, I agree. If he's abusing you verbally or physically, you should get out of that situation. And I believe that's what she did. But it does not scream innocence. She's doing something antagonistic to this man. I guess we'll have to see later, because I'm going to go back through these videos and see what I can find. Everyday people, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as quick as 1 week.